Hey guys, I'm Mark from Portion of Sport and welcome to the third week of the Premier League review. If you are new to this series, what we do is we take a look at the weekend results, I talk about the scores, then we have a look at the Premier League table and the top goal scorers so far. So here is a list of the weekend results. If you want, you can click on a result now and you'll be taken to that game. So if you want to listen about certain results, make sure to click on the game you want. So without further ado, let's get into the first game. So we start off with Watford versus Arsenal. Arsenal would record their first win of the season following a dismantling of Watford. Arsenal would get their first goal 9 minutes into the match when Mesut Ozil crosses the ball into the box and Watford defender Nordin Amrabat tries to get the ball off of Alexis Sanchez but ends up clouting him around the head, and referee Kevin Friend gives a penalty and Santi Cazorla steps up and puts the ball past Aurelio Gomez. Arsenal would double their lead just before half time when Theo Walcott sends a cross into the box and the ball falls to Alexis Sanchez again, who scores one of the messiest goals of the season. Sanchez gets the ball caught between his heels and somehow manages to flick the ball into the goal whilst falling over. Even Sanchez himself was unsure if it went in, as he didn't celebrate at first, but a goal is a goal nonetheless. On the stroke of half time, Arsenal would add another one to the collection when Mesut Ozil scores a rocket header after a cross from Alexis Sanchez. Watford would get a consolation goal when Roberto Pereira strikes the ball with his left foot and gets Watford's only goal of the match. This was a very different Arsenal side from the ones we saw last week against Leicester and before that against Liverpool. Arsenal come away with all 3 points and worthy of all of them. So we move on to Chelsea versus Burnley. Fans wouldn't have to wait long for the opening goal of this match, as 9 minutes into the first half, Eden Hazard struck a beautiful shot from outside the box and the ball curls into the bottom right corner. Chelsea would double their lead before the half-time break as Willian hit a right-footed shot from the side of the box and he finds the bottom left corner. It would stay 2-0 all the way until the dying moment of the match when Chelsea would add a third when Victor Moses, of all people, strikes the ball from the centre of the box and the ball goes straight down the middle of the net. This is the type of performance that could win Chelsea the league this season. For the first 2 matches of the season they got the win, but they left it late both times. They came away with the points, but many people would say that they didn't deserve them. This week, however, no one can deny Chelsea the points as they thrashed Burnley. So we move on to Manchester City versus West Ham. As soon as the game started, you could feel an early goal coming from Manchester City, and this is what we got when David Silva fed the ball into Nolito, who then proceeds to cut the ball across the box onto the penalty spot, which Raheem Sterling coolly finishes. 1 would quickly turn to 2 when 10 minutes later Kevin De Bruyne puts a gorgeous cross into the box, which Fernandinho rises highest and scores with his head. West Ham would try and mount a comeback in the second half when Artem Masuaka picks out Mikel Antonio, who nods in. City keeper Willy Caballero was stuck in no man's land. City would put the game to bed, however, when in the 92nd minute David Silva is denied by the post with a ferocious shot. City then come back for more and the ball finds its way to Raheem Sterling, who shoots from what should be an impossible angle. However, the young Englishman somehow manages to squeeze the ball in. With this win, City are only one of 3 teams who have a 100% winning record for the season so far. And we move on to Leicester versus Swansea. The reigning Premier League champions recorded their first win of this new season following a victory against Swansea, and it looks like Jamie Vardy will be having some sort of party as he gets his first goal of the season. Following a lovely bit of footwork from Danny Drinkwater, he plays the ball over the top and unleashes Jamie Vardy, who latches onto the pass and smashes the shot in off the post. Leicester would double their lead 5 minutes in the second half when a Leicester corner comes in the middle and both Leicester centre-backs Robert Huth and Wes Morgan go for the ball. However, it is Leicester captain Wes Morgan who gets the ball and hits a thunderous volley into the roof of the net. Swansea would mount a little comeback when in the 80th minute Leroy Fer rises highest onto a Madu Barrow cross and heads the ball past Zyler with an accurate header. But this was not enough for Swansea and Leicester were able to keep hold of all 3 points. And we move on to Everton versus Stoke. Everton continued their unbeaten start to the season under new manager Ronald Koeman as Everton defeated Stoke, who are yet to win this season. Everton were all over Stoke in the first half, however couldn't break the deadlock following a few goal line clearances from the Stoke defence. Everton would get their goal 6 minutes into the second half when Everton summer signing Ashley Williams and Stoke defender Phil Bardsley are running towards the near post at an Everton corner when the Welsh captain takes a tumble and Michael Oliver points to the spot. Leighton Baines steps up to take the penalty, however it was saved by Shea Given. However, the ball rebounds off the post and goes in off of Given's head, counting it as an own goal. The game would end 1-0 and a very deserved win by Everton. Stoke never really got into the game and they are lucky to have only lost by 1. And we move on to Hull versus Manchester United. It looked like it was going to end goalless and both of these teams would continue their unbeaten run. However, in typical Manchester United fashion, Fergie time played a huge part as substitute Marcus Rashford scored an injury time winner as Manchester United finally got the goal. Hull did well to fend off United's attacks for the entirety of the game, and moments before United scored, Hull had a rare attack and David Myler skied his shot, and then it seemed that Hull's defence fell apart after that. United got the deserved win in the end. Very cruel result for Hull, some would say, as they did defend well through the game, but United broke the defence down in the dying minutes and deservedly came away with all 3 points. And we move on to Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth would go ahead in a game for the first time this season, as 11 minutes into the game, Joshua King hits a right-footed shot from the right-hand side of the box and the ball finds the bottom left. Crystal Palace had a chance to square the game up, as in the first half, Crystal Palace new boy Christian Benteke was pulled back inside the penalty area and the referee pointed to the spot. Johan Cabaye would step up to take the penalty, but it was excellently saved by Archer Baruch. The game would pretty much die after this, as the game looked like it was going to end with Bournemouth getting all the points. However, in the 93rd minute, Scott Dan would equalise with a header following a Jason punch and cross. Crystal Palace earned this point, as if you look at the shots, Crystal Palace had 14 more shots than the away side and 20% more possession of the ball. This match ending in a draw gave both of these teams their first point of the season. And we move on to Tottenham versus Liverpool. The first half was all Liverpool really, and Liverpool got what they deserved after dominating most of the first half, as in the 43rd minute, after Eric Lamela was deemed to have fouled Philippe Coutinho in the box, and the referee awarded a penalty. James Milner stepped up to take it and sent Michel Vorm the wrong way and finishes neatly into the bottom right. Liverpool would find the net again after half time, but it wouldn't count as Adam Lallana was offside before playing the ball through to Sadio Mane. Tottenham would turn the tables on Liverpool, as in the second half, Tottenham would come out and have the ball more, and you could feel the equalisers coming, and in the 72nd minute, Danny Rose would smash the ball into the back of the net following an Eric Dyer cross. The game would end 1-1, and as Liverpool fan, the future looks bright at times. Jurgen Klopp has implemented his style on the team, and you can see it coming into tuition. Liverpool are a lot more attacking, but where they go wrong is they are very wasteful of their chances. See this week and last week for examples of that. Plus you can't see them keeping a clean sheet, which isn't the best combo. Tottenham fans will be happy of the draw, considering they could have been a few down in the first half if it wasn't for Michel Vorm pulling out some great saves. And we move on to Southampton versus Sunderland. Both teams were knocking on each other's door in search for the first goal of the match. However, we had to wait until the final 10 minutes for this game to really come alive. In the 78th minute, Jose Fonte takes down Jermaine Defoe and the referee awards a penalty to Sunderland. The man who won the penalty, Jermaine Defoe, steps up and hammers the ball into the top right corner of the net, and there was nothing Southampton keeper Fraser Forster could have done about that. 5 minutes later, Jay Rodriguez would find the net from about 25 yards out. I'm still unsure of how it went in. Rodriguez hits the ball and it somehow finds its way under Sunderland keeper Jordan Pickford's body. Sunderland fans will feel robbed from this result, as Southampton's goal really shouldn't have gone in, and this result leaves both sides still searching for their first win of the season. And finally, we've got West Brom versus Middlesbrough. This match was so boring. So boring. I've forgotten everything that happened actually. I don't know if anything did happen. The match was lacking in any kind of attacking creativity for both sides, and the game ended goalless, a result that the away side Middlesbrough will be more pleased about. This draw means Middlesbrough are the only promoted side still unbeaten with 1 win and 2 draws. So that's all the result for this week. Before we go, let's have a look at the Premier League table. So the top 5 look like this. You've got Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea are the only teams who have won 3 from 3 this season. Manchester City are on top with a positive 6 goal difference. Chelsea and Manchester United are both on positive 5. Chelsea are above because of alphabetical ordering. Everton claim their 4th Champions League spot, as they are still unbeaten with 2 wins and a draw. And newly promoted Hull take faith after their perfect start to the season was ruined this week by Manchester United. So let's take a look at the bottom 5. All 5 of these teams only have 1 recorded point, with all of them losing twice and drawing once. Stoke are at the very bottom with -4 goal difference. Bournemouth and Watford take the other 2 relegation places with -3 goal difference. Crystal Palace and Sunderland make up the rest of the bottom 5 with -2. So now let's take a look at the Premier League top scorers. The top 3 remains untouched from last week, with Sergio Aguero, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Nolito forming the top 3. Aguero and Ibrahimovic with 3 goals and Nolito with 2. Diego Costa and Raheem Sterling also have 2 goals, and the Premier League top scorers is still dominated by Manchester, with 4 of the 5 places being taken by Manchester teams, 3 of the 5 coming from the blue side of Manchester. So that's all I've got for you this week. There won't be an episode next week, as there is no Premier League fixtures next week due to World Cup qualifiers, but I'll be back in 2 weeks time for the next episode of the Premier League review. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, the links are in the description below. I've been Mark from Portion of Sport, and I'll see you next time.